Peter from ChaosMTG, just here to make my first video for the channel. I'm going to see how it goes and see if you guys like the stuff. If you guys like the content, maybe I'll make a few more. I wouldn't mind making a couple gaming channels, maybe anime review channels, stuff like that. I'm really big into like PC gaming, anime, fitness, going to the gym, stuff like that. So I don't know, I might make a couple of different other channels. I want to make a Magic the Gathering one though for now. Just really enjoy Magic. It's a huge part of what I do anyways. And first video I'm going to do here is we're going to talk about the M15 Pre-Release, which is tomorrow. I'm going to be going to that one after work at midnight, and hopefully go to at least one more on Saturday and maybe another one on Sunday. Generally I like to go to two more on Saturday right after work. On Friday night I go do the midnight one, then I go back to work for a few hours, and then go and do a couple more. Generally no sleep on Saturdays, just be a trooper, you know, get it out there. And so a lot of newer people probably want some tips and stuff like that, what to expect, what to bring, stuff like that. Things that are going to help you are like, if you have any spin down dice, I mean, you get one from each pack, from each pre-release pack you get. Like, you're going to get your 6 booster packs, you're going to get your activity thing. Like in the Theros things, it was in the last one, the Journey to Next, it was the forge the weapon, and this one you're gonna get the oversized Garruk Planeswalker game that you're gonna be able to play between matches. You get to fight Garruk. He has like 20 loyalty on him, and he does things. It's just like fighting the Horde and the Hydra and stuff like that. So you're going to get your packs, you're going to get that, and you're going to get your spin down life gainer. So technically, like, you don't need anything, but just to make things a little easier, a little more enjoyable and stuff like that, things to bring, or maybe an extra spin down. Unless you go to multiple, you might end up with 2, 3, 4, or 5 spin downs through of M15 ones throughout the end of the night or the weekend. And sleeves, I like to I have draft sleeves that all come sleeved up. They're all ready to go. I have 30 extra like empty KMC hypermats. They shuffle the best, and I think, I don't know, Dragon Shields are really good too. But for my draft sleeves anyways, I use the KMC hypermats, and I have enough land of each land, you know, like 15 or so of each land already pre-sleeved, and then I have like 30 whatever empty sleeves, just some extra ones just in case ones ever tear, get bent, beat up, or whatever like that. You know, you have a couple extras. Things go wrong or you lose a couple. Pre-sleeving your lands really helps, I find, because, you know, it saves a lot of time when it comes to your deck building. Some people don't. They think sleeving your deck's like a waste of time, or, you know, it takes too long, but it doesn't take long. You just pre-sleeve your land. You know, you can do it whenever. Just have it all done ahead of time, bring it in, you're ready to go. You're going to want some 6-sided dice. Again, you don't need them, but it really helps. You know, you can pick up the 20 packs of them or whatever at your LGS for pretty cheap, or just a bunch of regular 6-sided dice. I usually have a little kit thing that holds I got a bunch of spin downs and a bunch of 6-sided dice. Other people might need some on limit out or whatever like that. You might want to bring your trade binder, just, you know, between rounds and stuff, or if you see people pull things you like, maybe they don't need it or want it, you can maybe make a nice trade to get the new Garruk, or Nisa, or maybe the Chandra, or, you know, whatever you're looking for. Because there's a lot of nice cards that are being printed in this set, like Quarter Calling, and some nice reprints, stuff like that. Maybe you're going to need some pain lands for the new standard when the shocks rotate out and stuff like that. Yeah, so like traders, sleeves, dice. I like to bring pencil or pen and a life pad and like paper, because, you know, spin downs are good, but if someone bumps the table, or if you hit it, or if, you know, like if the dice moves, it's hard to remember sometimes what you were at, and if there's every discrepancy of what you were at and what your opponent's at, pen and paper is always going to win because it's tracked, and, you know, it's just it's better overall anyways. But those things are going to help you anyways. Like, You know, again, you don't need anything, but just to make it more enjoyable, more efficient, and more quicker, so you got more time, like when it comes to deck building and you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, just to make it go smooth. I recommend bringing those things, anyways. Maybe a play mat and stuff like that, but you know, you don't need any of that stuff, of course. But anyways, a lot of people are probably asking which is the best promo. That's always like the question on the pre-release. What color are you gonna go? Well, a lot of people base it off the promo, obviously. That's one of the things you look at generally, yes, but it's not necessarily the only thing you look at, right? Because the promos are good, the build around and stuff like that, but what's almost more important is the commons and the uncommons and the other rares and stuff like that, and how strong the color is in this set. Core sets are generally like a more dirtily slow format than the blocks, like the Theros and all them. You know, you get eye pretty quick to Citizen, No Swarms, or whatever, just huge ones really quick and stuff like that. You know, like Heroic just got out of control pretty quick, and there's big creatures, stuff like that. Core sets are usually a little slower, a little less synergy and stuff like that. In my opinion, I think the black one's probably the best. It's got one of the best words ever printed on Magic, right? And just like the draw cards is what you do to start the game. You get the draw card on it, or I believe you get to... I can't remember its ability right off the top of my head. I think it's you draw a card, or they can pay 3 life, or Diabolic, like Edict effect them, Devour Flesh effect, make them sacrifice creature. It's a pretty good card. It flies 5/3. Of course, you know, some people are gonna say like, well, it dies to Lightning Strike. Well, what doesn't die to Lightning Strike? You know, a lot of things do. The green one dies to Lightning Strike. Yeah, it comes back tapped, I think. The white one is also pretty good. That's pretty, you know, that it's an angel that flies. It's not as good as the one from the last set that came out. Like the Dawnbringer Charioteers was pretty OP compared to all the other ones, but it's still a pretty good card. I kind of like the red one as well. You know, just a giant dragon that deals a lot of damage to a bunch of things. It's kind of similar to Thundermaw, but not really either. I just pulled them up here now. You know, the blue one's kind of okay. His effect's pretty good, but I don't know. The black one's pretty good, but and the black usually has decent cards too. Like looking at what's coming out in the set, black's got some good stuff like Stab Wound, got another reprint, but it got moved on common, so the chance of you getting a Stab Wound is probably like fairly low. Stab Wound is really good and limited. I mean, like, it's pretty bonkers. Even if it doesn't kill the creature, that's probably even better. You know, they lose life every turn. It's pretty good. Convoke's back. They reprint it back to nature, which is kind of weird in my opinion, because with the Theros block, enchantments, and back to nature, destroy all enchantments, instant, for 1 green, 1 colorless. Like, pretty good. That's just gonna ranch any block deck that thought it was gonna see play, like Constellation. Like, that's not even a thing anymore. I don't know why they reprinted that. But the green is looking pretty good when you look at all the other cards, besides like the promos and stuff like that. Like, it's got your big bombs. Like, it's green, big beefy creatures. You know, it's got just a couple that kind of like stand out to me when I'm just like looking at this over really quick. The Ancient Silverback. You know, 6/5 for 6. It's just big creature. You can get that out real quick in green usually. It's got Regenerate on it. You know, it's gonna be hard to deal with if you actually get it out. Hornet's Nest. That's a really good card, and you can cord for it. You know, Quarter Calling when it looks like the coast is clear for them to attack. Go get Hornet's Nest, block with it, kill their thing, get a bunch of 1/1 Hornets with Death Touch afterwards. Blue advanced spells are very good in it. Like, you want to watch for stuff like that. Don't get drawn into like milling effects. Like Mind Sculpt is in this again. If you can like draft like 8 Mind Sculpt, sure, that is probably a thing. But Mind Sculpt, you know, mill usually doesn't go very far, but if you're just there to have fun, sure, you know, always play what you want to play. Like, sometimes I like just to draft cards because I think they'd be fun to play with, and I've never played with them before. Big things to look out for are obviously, you know, planeswalkers. There's 6 of them in this. You know, new with Johnny. Well, everything's new basically except Liliana the Best, and Chandra Pyremaster's going to try and get another go in Standard to see if she gets played. They're all going to be fairly good. Like, the Planeswalker's always good in Limited. They're pretty hard to deal with generally in Limited. You're going to get a lot of value out of them. The Soul of New Phyrexia is going to be pretty bonkers if you can get that to stick and on tap with it. You know, it's going to be really on top your lands with it, because just that option to give all your permanents indestructible till the end of the turn, like, yeah. The Soul of Theros is very good. The only one that I'm kind of iffy on is the Soul of Innistrad. You know, it's a 6/6 Death Touch. Seems kind of absurd for a card to be like that big with Death Touch. I mean, Freak Chosen or whatever that 1/1 snake is. You know, 1/1 Death Touch usually kills things, but sure, like you might want that to live, I guess, throughout the combat. But that card doesn't really like scream Innistrad for me. I don't know, the flavor's not really like. I mean, it's black, sure, and I don't know what's in the background. That thing, a giant. Well, it's an avatar apparently, right? But yeah, like the Soul Cycle, I think they're all going to be snap plays, so they're just huge. They're all 6/6s, and they have more value you can get out of them for tapping for things. Planeswalkers are huge. You know, the promos they're all fairly good. The black one I think is the best. The big dragon, he flies. You know, you can deal a lot of damage to. I think whenever he attacks, he deals like 2 damage to everything without flying. If they control no walls, walls are a thing in this. You might want to bring water, maybe some food with you, because you know, you're gonna be playing for hours. Generally, these things go on for a while. Like the midnight one's probably for some people kind of brutal. Maybe, I don't know, an energy drink maybe to keep you going. I like to drink those things quite a bit during those things. The no sugar ones for me because the sugar's too much, but maybe some water. You can buy a lot of stuff at like drinks at your local game store, but if you want to save some money, like just leave some drinks in the car or whatever. Bring some snacks. Like mine's located right next to Tim Hortons, and there's other stuff down the road. Like it's really close to like food places too, so it's pretty convenient. Yeah, and just have fun like when you're there, and just keep in mind like when you're not drafting, is it sealed? When you open up your packs and you look at what you get, separate all your colors out, and then what I like to do is separate your cards that are pretty much playable, like snap playable, and like if you separate all your white cards out. And then I like to make 2 piles of the white cards, like the ones that are like big, like they make first pick, like you're gonna play those for sure. And then you make your other ones that are kind of like, okay, like they're either filler or they're okay. And then you do that for each color, and you see which ones like have the most like big time playable cards. Like you want to remember Bread, but in a way that doesn't always like have a huge impact on Limited now. Like sometimes that can throw you off if you follow Bread to the T kind of thing. But you know, like see which ones have the best playables, and like just because you pick the black promo doesn't mean you're gonna be able to play black. I mean, you could end up just playing like blue green because you didn't pull a lot of stuff for black. You know, it happens. Just because you pick the X color promo doesn't mean you should force yourself into that, because that could be a mistake too. But generally, it works out fairly well. Like colors that do really well are usually aggro. Usually, I did fairly well in the last one with green red, like a Gruul aggro. It was pretty quick. Like it was beating them down real hard by turn 3, 4, 5. They were either dead or close to dead. Like green red's usually pretty good because you can ramp out and you just aggro them out really, really aggressively. But red black might be something good. Green black is usually fairly good too. But when you're building your deck, you want to look at synergies. That's the biggest thing. It's things that just synergize off other cards. If you do this, you also get this. Like that's why Constellation is almost a thing like that. That block deck, it's pretty good. It's got a lot of synergy. When an enchantment hits the field, a bunch of other triggers happen. You want to look for cards that do that. You know, like there's just a bunch of things I noticed in here that really synergize. Like Waste Not, there's synergy for you there. You can live the dream and try and play the Waste Not deck because Mind Rot's in this thing, and well, Mind Sculpt. You know, if you want to try and live the dream, play Waste Not, there you go. Yeah, there's synergy for you. It's just cards that really give you extra value when you play other cards, and try and like use your mana very efficient. You know, tap it each turn to basically use all the mana you could each turn. You know, save your tricks. Just play with your opponent to make them, you know, kind of worry about what's next. Removal is kind of decent in this. It's not always like the best in the core sets per se. But there is removal in this. There's a couple Wrath style effects that are really expensive, like in Grook's Wake and the white one, I think it's Mask Calcify. Some cards that really stand out to me that I really like is Turn to Frog. I like the better version of it, and I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's blue polymorphic Jest. Yeah, the card's hilarious. You know, it instant speed can just shut down like a bunch of huge creatures. It could be 10/10s, it could be the Soul of Innistrad, the Soul of Theros. Say they're all swinging at you. They got 4 of them in their sealed pool, and they swing at them all with them all. You know, turn them all into frogs, block them with your Seder Wayfinders. They're dead. You know, 1/1s now kill them until end of turn. There's a bunch of reprints in here that are kind of weird, like Lightning Strike. Again, that, you know, they just want people not to forget that Lightning Strike's in the thing, I guess. Seder Wayfinder, like I said, Back to Nature. That's a ridiculous reprint for this block, in my opinion. But there's some nice ones. That Divination, that card's been printed so many times. It was just printed in Theros and in the last core set. Like, holy. Like, Court of Calling needed a reprint, bring the price down and modern a little bit. That's the other thing, you know, you bring a modern deck, EDH deck, standard deck with you and play that between rounds, you know, with your friends if you're bored or whatever. But yeah, the main thing is, you know, just have fun, get out there, try and win the event if you can, win some packs. In the end, you still got a bunch of packs, so if you lose, don't worry about it. But I don't know, green-red's always really strong, but that's probably what I might go. I don't know, I like some of the blue cards in here. Bounce spells are always good and limited, you know, on 7 effects are great, but I'm not sure. I might pick the black promo for one of them, and maybe the white one for another, and the red one for another, or something like that, or the blue one. Just change it up. I like to try one of every color generally, or depending on how many I go to, or a couple of the same one, just to try the different things and see if I could try different decks. But like I said, green red's usually really good, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just have fun, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll do more if you guys enjoy it. I'll do different ones. Like I said, I'm probably going to make a couple other channels and see if people like those gaming ones and anime ones or whatever, you know, like, you know, each go chilling out back there. That's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you like it. If you do like the video, subscribe and comment down below, and, you know, bring the chaos to the pre-release. Just